Is it different if I call you by your first name? See, I've been kinda shy like since the third grade. In my head, these stories I make tell me we could be good enough. So don't get it twisted now when I go, 'cause even in my head you always drift off. Little moments that I carve out, could they be good enough? So now you're thrown with all your friends, won't be picking up again. Don't give me none of this. I'm always coming back for more, but tell me, is it good enough? Are you good enough? Is it good enough? Are you good enough? Tell me, is it good enough? Are you good enough? Is it good enough? Are you good enough? Tell me. So is there pressure now to get out? Like what you wanted, or do you doubt? I've been around like since the first time. I knew it was good enough. So don't get it mixed up now if I walk. Just giving you space, don't wanna move on. Worried you're questioning what we made. Tell me, am I still good enough? So go get thrown with all your friends, won't be answering again. Don't you give me none of this. You're always coming back for more. Tell me, is it good enough? Are you good enough? Is it good enough? Are you good enough? Tell me, is it good enough? Are you good enough? Is it good enough? Are you good enough? Tell me.
Okay, cool. I think everything should be good. Mic's on. Always got to make sure I do a triple check of things before I go live anymore. Yeah, happy Friday, guys. Welcome to the stream. This is Obe TA, technical analysis, where we scan the charts, apply fundamental technical analysis to them, try to spot the mythical edge, man. What we always talk about here, all right? Yeah, glad you guys are here. Anybody tuning in, welcome. But let's get into it, all right? We're gonna start it off with how we always start it off and take a look at Bitcoin. All right, the big daddy. Okay, so Let's see, there is about 39 minutes until your daily candle close. And what a candle it is, man. So really, it's pretty pathetic. When you see wicks like this on a candle, all right, not much of a body below, long upper wick, what this says is that price opened, where did price open on this? Opened up around 47,568. That's where it opened. All right, so you're at 47,795. It's green because you're above where it opened, but price did get up as high as 50,000 today. 50,148 was the high on the day for this candle. All right, but once it got back up to 50, it got sold all the way back down to 47.52. All right, so we're talking like a $2,300 swing throughout the day. So when you see wicks that go up high like this, what this means is that once it gets to 50, there are enough buy orders there to just push it right back down immediately. So people had sell orders set up at 50,000 to take profit. So ultimately what that tells you is that people are now looking at 50,000 as a point of resistance, as a point to take profits. All right, that is not good as far as an argument for this to reverse and go back towards the upside. It's really just not. And yeah, you could sit here and you could say there's an argument on the daily here for some Class A bullish divergence. But I mean, let's be real, right? Just Class A bullish divergence on the MACD is not enough, because you don't even have it on the RSI. It's not enough of an argument to say that this is going to reverse and hold 47,000 again and push you back towards the upside. It's just not. So it's like you're holding it, cool, but a weak candle like this, and you've got 37 minutes till it closes, does not give me confidence that we're going to hold 47. And again, if we fall below 47, we're heading down to this value back here from April 25th, right around like 40. Well, that's the freaking valley we're holding, man. So it's like we fall below that. Maybe this shoulder back here. I mean, yeah, we're heading down to like 43,000. All right, that's going to be the wick low back here from February 28th. So that's what this blue line represents. It's probably the next level we're going to if we break 47. All right, and with candle action like this on the daily, it doesn't give me confidence that we're going to hold this level. Let's move it to the 4 hour. All right, see if we maybe get some divergence or something here. There is, let me see. Not really even. It's like, do we want to call this Class B? No. I mean, technically you have a higher low in price than what you had back here on December 4th. All right, so on the 4 hour, technically you do have a higher low with just higher lows on the oscillator. So in my opinion, that's just bullish convergence on the 4 hour time scale. It's not divergence like we're looking for. It's not good enough, dude.
That's not good enough.
It's not good enough to me to argue that this is going to pivot and rally back towards the upside. In fact, in 36 minutes, yeah, it's like a little bit of you got the wick, so it makes a little indecision, but it's technically a bearish engulfing candle on your most recent 4 hour. So your price action is not looking good here. This is not the kind of strong stuff we want to see. Back testing 47,000, right? Because we tested it back here 1-2 times, sprung up, came back down, and wanted to hold it again before potentially running again. But we wanted strong confirmation here, and we're not getting it. So in my humble opinion, man, we're heading right back to about 43,000, I would say, at which point that is where I would look for this Class A bullish divergence to continue. So it would continue to sell off maybe here. So if we sell down to this level, let me think. Because if we sell off, and the negative momentum's just going to... I mean, the negative momentum could just start building again. It's very possible that it does that. Yeah. It's very possible that it does that. I'm not sure I'm doing this. Get out of here. That we get down here and... I don't know. Who knows, man? We might not even get... it might not even hold this level. It might come all the way down to here, so which is at about 40,000. So we'll see, dude. But Definitely think you're going to 43, and we'll just keep an eye on the oscillators at that point. All right, the RSI, you're getting close to oversold on the RSI, so a sell-off down to 43, I would imagine this yellow line, the RSI, the Relative Strength Index, gets down further into the oversold territory, at which point we start to pivot back up, and then maybe we get a higher low on the RSI for once. Let's say it does something like this, finally, right? And we're down here. Okay, we would have the lower low with the higher low on the oscillator. Maybe then we would get some Class A reversal bullish divergence on like a daily time scale. All right, so it's not looking strong with the one you currently are trying to argue for. All right, let's move it to the weekly. Let's see if there's anything helping you on the weekly. Not really. If anything, the weekly has just been respecting the F out of this trend line on the RSI all the way back from January to the beginning of the year. You've just been unable to break this trend line. So keep this in mind, right? A break of the trend line, of this weekly RSI trend line, would be very good news for Bitcoin. Probably would mean that it would be breaking out and heading back towards the upside, maybe to all-time highs. But as of right now, since the beginning of the year, you are respecting this trend line. And really, at this point, that in November, you've created the third touch, which just really solidifies any trend line. You want at least 3 touches, all right? You want at least 2, but it's kind of weak in my opinion. 3 is really kind of the rule of thumb. All right. But candle's gross. I mean, there's nothing about the candle that makes you excited. Yeah. You can, I just don't see anything. I mean, you're about to go below the 50-day moving average for the first time. I guess back in July, you went below it for a minute before coming up and closing above it. Yeah, I mean, you've been above it really since like April of 2020. So that's a significant metric there. Okay, you go below the 50-day moving average on the weekly, first time since 2020 that we will be seeing something like that. So again, man, there's nothing in the rule book saying this can't come all the way down to these levels, down at like 28,000, 29,000 before getting some support or whatever. Okay, there's nothing in the rule book saying it won't go down back to 20. I'm not saying that's necessarily in the cards yet, but yeah, the daily's coming back down. You've got the 200-day moving average below you, as well as 40. So this is a strong level. All right, let's go ahead. I'm gonna box this up real quick. All right, this zone right here, this 200-day moving average with this level of support back here, 47,000. All right, if you break through, so really if you break below 46,542, I think 43,000 is pretty much inevitable at that point. All right, so just keep that in mind. It's looking like it's going to do that. As the minutes tick by, this candle just keeps getting more and more pathetic as far as its body is concerned. I would not be surprised to see this thing close in the red. With 31 minutes left, could do that, but dude, this long wick up here it's disgusting. But hey, we will see. All right. Okay, let's move it over to Bitcoin dominance, actually, which is just essentially how much of the entire crypto market Bitcoin makes up. And you can look over here, 41.25%. So Bitcoin makes up 41.25% of the market right now. What you will notice is that looking left, all right, this is on the daily. This is a very major level down here around 39, 40%. All right, you've tested it once back here, May, tested it again in September 10th. Now you're back at it December 9th, all right? So one thing to keep in mind with Bitcoin dominance is that even though Bitcoin looks like it might be selling off, it doesn't necessarily mean that the dominance will fall. Because what it essentially means is that yo dude, yeah man, the one and only.
Are you not entertained?
It's me in the flesh. And if I had a god spinner, I'd spin it and probably become more than flesh and become a god. But it is indeed I. You can call me Ryan.
Frosty!
But yeah, man, Bitcoin dominance is at a pretty important level back here at 40%, all right? Look, looking all the way back to 2018, also a major inflection point, okay? Inflection points being the very discernible U shape you see here where price changes direction, all right? Major reversals, once, 2 times, 3 times, you are now at it again, all right? So, you know, Bitcoin could sell off, sure, but let's take a look at the dominance to see if it is poised to maintain its dominance, which in turn would mean that it kind of outperforms the other coins in the market to a degree, right? All right, you had a golden cross going on and then right back into a death cross. So not great, but the candle action, actually not terrible. You've got 29 minutes left. You've got a potential for a little bit of a evening star type candle confirmation here on the daily. And if we're looking at the divergence, you do in fact have a slight higher low on the on the RSI. Don't have it on the MACD, but you do have it on the RSI. So you have a low selling off, a slightly higher low starting to pivot back towards the upside. Could be showing exhaustion as far as the dominance falling off on Bitcoin. And historically at this level, it just pretty much goes straight up, right? So we will see what happens here, but this isn't necessarily good for the crypto market, because if in fact it does decide to confirm it for the third time and go up, and it's selling off, that means that the altcoins are selling off just way harder. So, dude, if we fall through 47 here, showing this kind of stuff, a little bit of Class A bullish divergence, let's see if the 4 hours also saying that. Yes, it is, right? Not only is it saying it once, it's saying it twice. Okay, double Class A going on the MACD. Now it's been playing out, right? So you haven't quite gotten above it. You probably will, and you'll probably make a lower high than this part back here at like 41.76 cents or percent. So it could imply continuing down to this 39 area, 71. Okay, because you're not quite down there yet. So you probably will come back down to test this very important level at 39.70%. And well, if it gets down to there and Bitcoin is broken 47 and looks like it's heading to 43, may God have mercy on your altcoins. All right. If it continues the bullish divergence, because what that means is that Bitcoin dominance is poised to outperform or go up, which would mean that even with Bitcoin selling off, the alts would have to sell off harder. Okay? Because if Bitcoin is selling off hard and the alts are not, then you would think that Bitcoin's dominance in the marketplace would fall, right? As the altcoins rise. That kind of makes sense, right? But if Bitcoin's dominance is poised here on the charts to go up, then that would, but the Bitcoin itself is poised to go down, that would imply that the altcoins are going to get decimated. So just saying, dude, be careful. I know everybody has their coins, it's going to change the world in 10 years, I'm going to be a millionaire or whatever. Just saying, dude, you better be able to ride the wave in the short term. All right, don't be surprised to see Solana down 20%, something like that. That stuff happens, dude. I have multiple coins that I got back in the day that are worthless now. I still hold them because there's no point in selling them, but they're worthless. So don't think that just because a project is up in the top 20 or something that in 2 or 3 years it won't be worthless. All right, most of them will be probably. Cool, fun stuff. Let's take a look at Ethereum. I'll move it over to Ethereum. All right, looking at the daily. Yeah, you're just trying to hold on to this peak back here from September 4th. All right, at like $3,946. You're sitting on it. And when I say that, it's the highest point the trader set it up, right? So it's the highest candle close here from September 5th. So you're literally right at it right now. This is not a good candle to tell me that it's going to hold. So you're probably heading down to these two peaks back here, September 16th and October 8th. All right, that's the next level down at about 3,657. So that's the thing. You've got levels of support going down. And as always, you can throw the Fibonacci on top of it to try and beef those levels up. in this case, it's kind of funny that each Fibonacci level kind of falls in between the levels of support. So not too much confluence going on, but you will notice that this candle here from December 4th did come down with that wick and touch the 618 perfectly. So the 618 should offer some support, especially since it's already been regarded once as support from that candle. So 3,522, right around that area, could be an area to watch out for. So I would say this zone here, so we'll take the tops, the peaks back here as resistance, and we'll line it up with the 618, all right, to just give you this zone of support going down. All right. So Ethereum's got some decent support. Looking left, 786 comes right down into this area of consolidation, right? The 886 lines up almost perfectly with these peaks from back here. So these are just areas to look for, but the 618 and these peaks right here, these resistance points, probably where it's going next, especially if Bitcoin sells off and goes down to 43. Ethereum is coming down into this green zone, all right? So we will evaluate it at that point. Nothing on the daily implying reversal to the upside, no edge. Yeah, you've fallen below all levels here, really below 4,000 really is what the doozy is here, all right? So, dang. Maybe the 4 hour showing a little exhaustion. Nope. Negative momentum starting to build again. Gross candle activity going on. Nothing on the shorter time frame either. Maybe the weekly. Nothing on the weekly. First red candle though since August 2nd on the weekly showing. All right, but you're probably heading back down in here. Okay, so just be prepared for that. Okay, doesn't mean panic, doesn't mean sell everything. Just be prepared for it to continue to sell off. All right, so when it sells off, you can't come to me like, "Hey, dude, what the hell? You never said it was gonna. What's going on with Ethereum, dude?" Guess what's going on? And if you're relatively confident in this, when it gets down in there, you shouldn't be surprised. If anything, you should have maybe some capital ready to deploy at levels of historical support. Maybe at that point, I don't really know how you would get divergence on the I mean, it's not like you're going to get hidden on the weekly or anything. I don't know. We'll just have to watch it. All right. The next few days, especially the weekends, man, going into the weekends can be pretty rough on crypto, so just be prepared, all right? Things don't look great. Cool. Let's move it over to the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart, though, all right? This chart basically explaining whether or not Ethereum will outperform Bitcoin. So pretty nasty follow-through price action after some dark cloud cover on the daily there. The weekly getting somewhat of a shooting star. Now it has 2 days, so I mean, who knows what that thing will turn into. But yeah, the daily is not looking fantastic. There's no, as long as you pivot back above 7.8 Satoshis, you'll have some hidden bullish divergence on the RSI. So here's probably where you would head up. This blue line at 7.9 Satoshis. As long again as you pivot above 7.8, you'll probably have some hidden bullish divergence, because at that point the RSI would be somewhere like here. Okay, so you would have the higher low with the lower low on the oscillator. All right, so that is very possible to see, but yeah, that's probably where the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart is heading. So I don't know, maybe if Bitcoin does dump and go to 43 in the few days coming up, Ethereum might sell off a little bit worse, but overall in the coming months, weeks, months, whatever, Ethereum will probably outperform Bitcoin. Okay. No divergence on the 4 hour either, so just double class A bearish divergence. But even with the double class A bearish divergence, We're down 6% from the top, so it's not a huge deal. You throw a Fibonacci on it, you've retraced about 50% and you're at a shoulder. So, I mean, yeah, who knows, man? You could see if Bitcoin does dump, maybe Ethereum won't sell off as hard. I mean, it's possible. That is possible. So, keep an eye on it, but ever since October 19th, it's just been outperforming the hell out of it. I mean, really, if you really zoom out all the way, it's been pretty consistently in a bullish trend. It started steadily going up, like January 20th, back towards the upside, but yeah, outperformance, higher lows, higher lows, higher highs, higher highs. All right, here from March to May, it was really outperforming, but we'll see, man. You're also approaching, you're also at levels of historical resistance from May 14th. You notice this inflection point here, but this major peak. Okay, so it makes sense that was an area to catch some resistance, but we will see if this continues its run here. And really, you could just draw this trend line from here to here, all right? And if it breaks this weekly trend line, then maybe the discussion will be different. But for the time being, you have not. So keep an eye on it, all right?
Are you not entertained?
What's going on, guys? You got any plans for the weekend? How's your Friday going? How was your week? I get up here and talk about charts on blue in the phase, but I want to have some fun with you guys too, man. I want to talk to some people. Move it over to the total market cap. I actually haven't really looked at this today. I want to take a look. Looks like Bitcoin. Got the same candle close with that higher wick into a major level of resistance. Again, it's like you need to break this peak back here from April 16th to be showing strength. It's like you got in there, you rejected out. Then you wicked up into it today with the price and then got rejected right out, okay? So this is a rejection. This daily candle, don't fool yourself, because if you move it to the 4 hour and stuff like that, like you got up in there and then you sold out. So, and you touched it here. So this candle touched it, rejected, sold off, closed at a lower price, and then just continued selling off. Now you have a big bearish engulfing candle in the 4 hour. All right, so you're confirming major levels of historical resistance. It's just not good for an argument that for bulls, right? That we're going to pivot back towards the upside. It's just you just don't have a good argument right now. Okay, so realistically, because yeah, you're below these shoulders back here from September. Dude, you're probably heading down to like $1.8, $1.9 trillion. You might get some help on the 200-day moving average at $2 trillion. Maybe. Did touch it a couple times. Yeah, maybe. But you can come back and do a full reset back here from September 21st and just come right back down to, $1.78 trillion, okay? Which if you would have told me in 2017 that I would be worried about $1.78 trillion, I would have laughed and fell out of my chair. I don't really have an analogy. I'm just saying, I would have been shocked. I would have been like, are you kidding me, dude? It's at 400 billion right now. I'm going to be pissed at 1.7 trillion. Sorry, 4 times. 400% growth is...
That's not good enough.
Not good enough, dude. Not good enough, especially if you got in the market up here. Okay. Gross. Another thing that's gross, dude. Cardano. Cardano also looking gross. And if you ask me, dude, it's going to $1. I don't see how it doesn't go to $1 at this point. You do not have any divergence going on the daily. Move it to the 4 hour. You could potentially, but you have to start pivoting like right now. All right, you're just building negative momentum still on the MACD. RSI is just continuing to sell off, making lower highs. All right, hidden bearish divergence going on, dude. It's below both moving averages and below $1.50, which was a major level that you needed to hold. These peaks back here, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, you're way below it now. You're just in the middle of this range. Like, what is going to act as support here? There's nothing looking left. You're just in the middle of all this crap. The most discernible area touched once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times is $1. Okay? And you're not really showing, again, any signs of exhaustion or anything. You're most likely heading down to $1. All right? And you're, past $1.17, you even wipe out your weekly hidden bullish divergence, which I didn't think would be possible. But look how disgusting the weekly candles have been, dude. You've had 3 green since early September. You've had 3 pathetic green candles, small ones, nothing good. All right, it's just, dude, Cardano's been terrible. And not only has Cardano been terrible, dude, again, like we talked about on Wednesday, Solana just flipped it in market cap, and not by a little bit. So Solana is now ahead of Cardano as far as the Ethereum killer race goes. Dude, Cardano, like, just doesn't look good. And if it breaks $1, the only support below, like, you notice look how you were up 91% this week, all right? So while everybody was cheering, it was cool and it was great, when you're coming back down, there's no support until like 39 cents. Okay? And that 39 cents lines up like perfectly with the 886 from the swing low back here from September 21st, 2020. So, dude, you could go down, retrace down to the 886. I mean, God, you could come down to 14 cents. Who knows, man? Stuff is not good for Cardano right now. It's really just not good. So, I'm sorry to the Cardano people out there, man. And who knows, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the TA will be wrong and it'll pivot for no apparent reason whatsoever here. And, I'll be eating my own words, but there's nothing on the chart right now implying that. You're below all of the major levels of resistance, and you're just in the middle of a weird range, kind of hanging on to like the 618 maybe from this swing low. Maybe that's where you're trying to get a little support, but even more locally, if we take $1.50. Fibonacci from $1.50 to the high. You're right at the 886, okay? You're not even right at the 886. You today broke below the 886. And you got 12 minutes until you close and confirm below it, dude. Ugh. Terrible. Terrible. Let me say it in Spanish. Terrible. If anybody knows any other languages, let me know how to say terrible in those languages too, because I'll say it, okay? The only word I know in Russian is da and dos vidanias, maybe. That might be a bad. I don't even know if that's a bad word. I don't know what that is. Terrible. Gross. Yuck. Pepe Le Pew. French. Pew. Pew pew. Stinky. Okay. Probably see it down at $1. We'll look at it then, right? Because $1 is a major level, okay, of support. Very major level. As far as psychologically too, I mean, it doesn't really get more psychological than $1. But that's where you're heading. All right, let's move it over to Solana, another major guy here, talking about ones that were flipping Cardano, right? That's what I just said. Solana was the one, right? Broke out of its daily trend line here, broke below this peak back from October 3rd. About to confirm a big red candle below there. Yeah, I mean, you could very well be heading down to $1.19. Might get some support at $1.38. All right, if we want to count this candle here from October 12th, I could maybe see that, a consolidation area. Maybe some fibs will beef that level up for you. I mean, the 886, or I'm sorry, the 786 doesn't come into play until $1.50. So you might get some. So I would say next spot, if you close below this peak from back here, $150 bucks, $150. That's a 786 retrace, as well as 150 lining up in that psychological kind of zone. Okay, might get some support there, but again, dude, if Bitcoin dumps from 47 to 43 and it does it quick and dramatic, dude, Solana could come straight down to like $1.19. Just don't be surprised to see that stuff, man. All right, broke its demand line, broke critical levels of historical supports. Negative momentum is building. There's no sign of exhaustion from sellers. The 4-hour is looking similar to a lot of stuff, right? Negative momentum continuing to build. No higher lows. getting towards the oversold territory. Like, breaking trend lines and breaking historical resistance for like the first time is not usually followed up with price action to the upside. All right, you're breaking out to the downside. It's not usually followed up with the next day with like a breakout to the upside. It just rarely ever happens. So just be prepared, man. Solana, if you're a Solana moon boy or whatever, I mean, it's down 6% as of right now. Okay, the market could be in for a serious doozy, if you want to call it that. All right.
Are you sure about that?
I am. Get out of here. Okay, so let's take a look at. That was so corny. Let's take a look at. Take a look at stocks. All right, let's get out of the crypto space for a sec because it's looking so gross. Move it over to stocks. All right, let's take a look at space because, again, we were talking about it before, but it's at very critical areas where the price just goes straight up from this level if it can hold it. It's been showing Class A bullish divergence, right? At least on the MACD. Took a chance on it, risking 8%. The stop loss is right down here at like $13.81, all right? So this might not play out. It might come down, get stopped out, dump and sell down to, you know, next level at like 12.18. It could happen. But given the context of what this asset does at this level, showing levels of divergence, the weekly is seemingly, you know, selling off, trying to go higher but selling off and creating higher lows. And if we look at the weekly here, you're getting, see, that's not even a super strong candle anymore. It was like right up here earlier today before it closed, and it closed with a little bit of a higher wick. So, I mean, I don't love to see that. It's not super strong. And it's now turning off. We'll see. We'll see, man. If it doesn't hold and sells off, fine. But these are the levels that you want to look at as far as getting in on an asset. And what we were talking about, actually, was that the potential for, we got the reaction low. So got the reaction low at historical support, going to come back down and confirm, hopefully. If it confirms it and holds again, then that's when we could see a real decisive move to the upside, all right? Confirmation of the spring, back test of the spring, confirmation of that the low is in like $13.90 at historical supports. Okay? Yeah, serious hidden bearish divergence going on the 4 hour right now. So going to continue selling off probably down into here, and then that's where we need to see, even it gets a little bit lower maybe, and we just get a tiny bit of negative momentum, more Class A bullish divergence, and then that's where we get the spring. All right, that's where we're playing, that's what we're banking on. I mean, it's going to happen, but I like the odds down here. Okay, let's move it over to Ford. All right, Ford in the thumbnail. Ford outperforming today. It was up like 9% today, dude. Ford has just been a beast. Regardless of how you feel about the cars, whatever, dude, you can't. I mean, they've just been killing it as far as their stock is concerned. Again, up 9% today, approaching historical highs that you have not seen since. I mean, I have to go to the weekly just to get that far back. I know it's here. Yeah. So these valleys back here, dude, we're talking in 2000. You haven't been here since the year 2000, okay? 21 years later, you are back up here at $22. All right? And I'm talking it's $22. Why? Because, look, 1998, this valley. All right? March 13th of 2000, valley, holding it as support. December of 2000, valley, holding it as support. All right, so 1, 2, 3 touches there. Major level of support is going to now act as resistance, but when you're doing this kind of stuff, all right, you're bullishly engulfing on the weekly at the top up here, and the daily is bullishly engulfing. Not only is it bullishly engulfing, it's playing off of massive hidden bullish divergence. Lower low on the oscillator, higher lows in price. Dude, I mean, you're going to come up and test that historical resistance back from 2000, man. That's crazy. you have to respect that, man. It's been 21 years since you've been back at this price. And you're back, all right? And you're back with strength, all right? Like, this is what you want to see up at these levels. You want to see massive hidden bullish divergence on the MACD and the RSI on a daily time scale. Yeah. Yup. Love it. Love to see it. Okay? So, congrats, Ford. Anybody that's had Ford. Is now the time to buy Ford? No. You don't buy Ford when it's coming up to test historical resistance points that were touched 3 times back from 2000. All right, that's not the time to be buying. I'm just saying though, if you do break above it, so let's say you do get up in there and you break it, and then you come back down and test it and hold, and then maybe come in and you test it and hold again. Maybe here, but I mean that could be weeks from now to get an edge on Ford. So there's no edge necessarily. It's like, yeah, you've got the hidden bullish divergence, so it's probably going to continue to the upside, but you don't want to buy it here. All right, you don't want to buy it at levels of resistance. You want to buy it at levels of support. That makes sense. Okay, so you're in Ford, great. Again, if you break out, you'll probably come back to test it to hold again. If it holds, then different conversation as far as getting into Ford. All right. I'm curious, since it's such an old asset, I wonder what the monthly. Whew, dude, look at this. Monthly activity has been crazy, and you are very overbought on the monthly, but you certainly aren't showing any Class A bearish divergence or anything on the monthly time scale. So you're just higher high. All right. Class A bearish divergence would be a lower high on the oscillators with higher high on price. Exhaustion of buyers, dude. Buyers are not exhausted in Ford. Okay, so that is the major level that you need to break up there. But once you do, in my opinion, I don't know why you wouldn't with how bullish this looks. Once you do, that's when you come back down, test it, hold, and then you make probably all-time highs. Yeah, you're getting close to making all-time highs, all right? You break $37.28, you're at all-time highs for Ford, an asset that's been around since 1968. All right? Cool, man. It's just cool. You just can't say it's not, all right? This is very historical. I'm a history dork. This stuff is kind of cool to me. All right. The Pfizer came out today, said they had the booster shot is effective against Omicron or whatever. Did nothing. Okay. Up 1.34%, whatever. No hidden bullish. Well, I mean, kinda, a little bit. You filled the gap officially that you busted out here November 26th. Have filled it. No edge on Pfizer. Whatever. All right, that was more just kind of news that was interesting. But is anybody surprised, right? Move it to, let's look at the neighbor, Moderna. All we really care about on Moderna is the weekly. Yeah, negative momentum starting to build again. And dude, if you break this trend line, this hidden bullish divergence on the weekly that looked so good with the Doji Morningstar could just get wiped out, all right? And that happens, man. Again, to reiterate, just because you've got a weekly Doji Morningstar with large amounts of hidden bullish divergence does not mean that it's going to play out 100%. You have to have your stop losses in. Your stop loss would go right down here at like $216.80. So no matter how good it looks, this is a perfect example. You have to do that kind of stuff, all right? Even if this had a 70% chance of breaking out to the upside, you play that odd. You play a 70% chance odd in these markets. You just do, okay? And you never know. The CEO could come out and say, our vaccines don't work on Omicron, and then it just kind of disrupts the TA and throws it into a weird little tailspin that ends up not following the TA, disrespecting it, falling down below, and and then you just lose the trade. You're going to have wins, you're going to have losses. It's just a matter of playing good odds to offset the losses with more wins, right? If you're 60-40, you'll come out profitable. You just have to play it over and over and over and over, okay? You see an edge, you play it. And use your stop losses and be smart about it. But you see an edge, and you play it. You don't just forego an edge because. It's the whole poker theory with casinos. They play every single hand. They only have a 1% edge, but they play every single hand. And after millions and millions of hands, they make $5 million, right? They lose 400, but they make 405, so they make $5 million. Okay. It's the same with this stuff. Same thing with swing trading. Okay. Moderna. Let's go ahead and let's see. I thought I had one more thing. Yes. All right. So I actually have a trade set up that I wanted to put on here. Okay. So AMED, Amedisys Incorporated, whatever. First off, are they profitable? They're profitable. Okay, that's one of the things that I always look for when I am evaluating a stock, a stock, right? Cryptos don't have earnings or anything like that. If you come down in here and you see that they're just always missing earnings or garbage, never making any kind of money, I avoid those. All right, I just avoid them. No matter what the technical analysis looks like, I avoid them because making money is important as far as growth is concerned and as far as the asset going up. So they make money. Okay, fantastic. So let's move it to the daily here. All right, and let me go ahead. I know I had a bunch of notes, but let's see. All right, we'll start off on the weekly because the weekly was showing Class A bullish divergence. All right, and the weekly candles closed today. So looking left, all right, you have major level of historical support. It was touched once here, March 16th. Consolidation for a lot of period here between like July of 2019, October, right? Touched it before selling off as resistance a few times. You can see the peaks, all right? This is an important level to be held, this price, 133.98, right? And 129. So essentially what you have here on the weekly is you have a low back here from October 4th. All right, you came up, you sold off to now back test that low. And keep in mind, this is on a weekly time scale, right? So you have the lower low on the weekly. On the RSI, though, you have a higher low. And on the MACD, if we're counting it from here, and this little bit of green that's sold off, that's your low, right? That's where you can see price correlate and sell off. That is considered a low. And it didn't even get red. A much higher low than what you had back here on October 4th, all right? So even though it didn't go red necessarily, it didn't have to. It's still higher low than what was back here on September 20th. So this is definitely considered Class A bullish divergence. You have it on the MACD. You have it on the RSI. And for the weekly candle close, you had a beautiful bullish engulfing candle. All right, so this is exactly the confirmation type stuff that we're looking for. Seller exhaustion going on the oscillators and a big bullish engulfing candle on the weekly. All right, that's a solid candle at levels of major historical support. All right, the context is just fantastic for this. It's just a good point, man. It's confirmed in my opinion. Even on the daily here, the low is slightly lower, but you have way higher levels of negative momentum. Well, actually, hold on a sec. I had a theory about this. Okay, so forget this, right? Because what I was going to say was that is a slightly lower low with much low. So it's like, is it kind of hidden bullish divergence? It's not hidden bullish divergence. And the reason, you still liking it? Yes. This stock? Yeah, oh yeah. If that's what you're talking about, Danny. Yeah. Oh, dude, I'm still liking it. Because even on the daily back here on December 6th, you had that bullish engulfing candle. But here's what it is, right? So on the MACD, you do not have divergence. You technically have a lower low in price with a lower low in the oscillator, right? We got to be consistent with this because you do have Class A bullish divergence, however, on the daily. So you have a higher low on the RSI with that lower low in price. And it's important to do this because you can't sit here and say, well, it's like a same low with lower levels, so it's like hidden bullish divergence, but then then come down to the RSI and be like, no, it's a lower low with higher levels, right? It's either the same low or it's a lower low. You can't just magically change it each time to fit your narrative. You got to pick one. So I almost made that mistake of saying like, well, yeah, technically, yes, sure, it's barely below with much higher levels, which is a good sign. But ultimately, this is just Class A bullish divergence on the daily. All right. But you have Class A bullish divergence on the MACD and the RSI on the weekly. Then you move it over. You have Class A bullish divergence on the daily for the RSI. Dude, it's like kind of confirmed. All right. It looks good, man. It looks good. So the position was taken up here around $160, $149. Stop loss placed down here around 128. All right. First target back up here to fill the gap is a theory that I believe will happen. And then also, let me make sure, just looking left, just pretty much back up to this peak back here from July of 2021. All right, this kind of stuff is just looks to be confirming that the bottom is in, and now it's playing to the upside. All right, so we'll see, man. I'm comfortable risking this amount for that kind of gain, showing weekly signals like this. All right, weekly and daily signals like this. So second target, which just plopped up here at the all-time high back from January of 2021. But yeah, man, we'll see. We'll keep an eye on this one. But so far, so good. Cool. How you doing tonight, Danny? How you doing, man? Good? That's pretty much all I have. So if you have something you want me to take a look at, let me know. If not, your boy's about to go get some tacos, some taquitos, some burritos, some carnita, whatever. We're going to Mexican Food Factory, MFF, to put down what I believe to be some of the best Mexican food around.
Are you sure about that?
That's going to do it, guys. All right. Let me take a look real quick. What time is it? 7:07? All right, so Bitcoin had its daily candle close. It's pathetic. One of my guys just put in his 2 weeks, I am going to go ahead and get drunk. There you go, dude. Yep, because you know what's coming your way, dude. A whirlwind of work. Danny, look. I hate to do this to you, man. And we can't give you a raise or we can't give you any more money for it or whatever, but you know, Timmy just wasn't really cutting it. He decided to leave. He couldn't hang. We're going to need you to pick up the slack, though, okay? So if you're a team player, we know you can do it. So we're going to have to put you on 12 a.m.s for the rest of the week coming up. And just know it looks really good on your record. So next time we do an evaluation, trust me, you might be in line for that promotion, okay? So they just hire a new guy and whatever. That sucks, man. Enjoy your drinks. Carnitas is the elite meat. Oh, yeah, dude. I'll get a taco with it for sure. I'll get a taco. But, yeah, man. Sorry to hear that. I hope too much work doesn't come your way. I know what that feels like. It can really suck. It can be a real biatch. But, yeah, man. He's my guy. I'm the voice you are making. No, he's my guy. Ah, okay, gotcha. Yeah. All right, well, that's cool then, I guess. Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to do it here. Been almost an hour, 50 minutes, 53 minutes. My dog's barking, whatever. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Whoever's looking at this. Danny, as always, man, appreciate it. But I'm going to let it go. Enjoy your Friday night. Enjoy your drinks. Enjoy your weekend. I'll probably come back on Sunday, all right? I have a feeling some stuff's going to happen, so I'll probably come back Sunday and do a quick one just to evaluate before the week starts. And then, I think what I'm going to do going forward, I think I'm going to go with the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. So I'll probably do like Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday going forward. And yeah, man. So I'll see you guys when I get back. Probably Sunday. And until then, go ahead, as always. Stuff over there. Discord. Dude, get in the Discord. Talk about stuff. I put trade setups in there. We talk about stocks, crypto, whatever the hell else is going on in the world. And any questions, educational content on there and stuff like that, harmonics, Japanese candlestick patterns, any questions you have, man, you can ask me directly in there 24/7, all right? But yeah, dude, like the video, subscribe to the channel, help me get this thing out into the YouTubeosphere, because it's hard to, it's actually pretty hard to get some people to tune in, man. It's a lot harder than I thought. So, yeah, man, if you guys could do that, I would really appreciate it. Help your boy out. But until Sunday, enjoy your Friday, enjoy your weekend. But more importantly, and as always remember, don't forget, put it into your brain, digest it, never let it leave, never forget, always keep it front of mind, in the front of your cerebral cortex, to keep it technical. All right, please.